everybody, it's Christopher Neiman. Well, if you've been following some of my videos that I've been showing you some teasers out there, you've been noticing that I've been embroidering my own fabric. So I want to show you where I'm at with that so far. Look at this. I'm embroidering my own fabric so I can cut it out to make a tote bag, actually a book tote bag. And you know how long it takes to do this? And this was done on my 6 needle. And the 6 needle has automatic needle thread changes automatically. You don't have to stand there and keep changing the thread like a single needle home machine. So, I mean, I had like 2 days off from the hair salon, and I was up 24 hours one night just continuously, you know, changing the bobbin because the machine kept going and going and going and going. This truly was a labor of love. It's absolutely beautiful. Now you can see how beautiful I matched when I put it together, because I made a template. And the problem is the software that I'm using, which is Embroidery, is off a little bit to the actual hoop size of the for the machine. So when I put it in the machine, it says the size was too big. So I had to reduce the size in the hoop and then save it onto a floppy, or save it onto my USB, then take the USB and copy that to my computer again onto my Embroidery software, and then print a template. But if I edited just right from Embroidery and took it, like I said, to the sewing machine, the 6 needle, it said the design was too big, even though Embroidery said this is the size for that machine. So you have to do a lot of testing. You know, no matter what you're using, you've always got to double check, double check, double check. So before I actually got this template perfect, you can see I actually had some misalignment here where I had some spaces. So how am I going to correct that? Well, it's really kind of easy for me, because I have a sewing machine that actually has a built-in camera where I can scan the fabric and then place single designs in these spaces to fill this up, right? So I can do that. The modern 10 needle embroidery machine, multi-needle embroidery machines also now have the built-in camera that you can do that on the multi-needle, and a couple of the top line machines have that. Now the problem is, if you have a machine that has a scanning feature with your camera, you really can't do it the way I'm doing it. The way I do it is, I like to take my hoop, my magnetic hoop, and put it on top like this. Okay. I have some tape on here. I showed you guys this trick in a few of my other videos. Let me grab my tape. This really makes a big difference. I take some double-sided transparent tape. I tape it onto the back of my hoop, and I do that all the way around on all 4 sides, which I already did, but I'm going to do 2 more anyway. And this comes off real easy. This is the generic version. You don't need anything really strong. Sorry, I bumped the camera. You don't need anything strong. And you just lay it on here like this. Stick it down. Press it down. See? And then you got pretty good enforcement there. So when you go to put it in the bottom and line it up, and there it is. So I just come over here and I feel underneath to make sure it's all lined up, which it is now. And then I will take this to my machine and embroider it. But there's something I just did that I didn't think of, and I just thought of it now. When this goes into the machine like this, all this excess fabric is going to be this way. So what am I going to do? Well, I better do it the other way. I'm going to unhoop it and hoop it so the fabric goes to all the excess fabric hangs to the left of the machine. Much smarter idea, right? Isn't that better? Let me just move this out of the way first. And it doesn't matter how even or uneven you do this, because in the camera you can shift your design, you can scan. Okay, so now the hookup part's going to be to the left here. All right, and then I'll lay that in here. I'll feel underneath, make sure it's all in there good. This is just wonderful. Let's see here. Yep. It's in there just right. You can adjust it. There it is. All right, and then what I'll do is I will just scan this in the sewing machine, the embroidery machine, and then it'll come back on the screen and show me this, and then I'll take individual designs and I'll place them in here to fill this up. How easy is that? Did you want to watch me do it? I'll give you a brief. Sure, I'll just give you a brief. But before I do that, what I want to tell you is that if you are using if you're using regular hoops or whatever you can't float this. You have to actually use a regular hoop on your machines that you actually take a picture with your camera, because you have to be able to see this out here. There's special scanning labels on the hoop. So if you're going to float this, you can't float it. That's what I'm saying. In other words, this is called floating, where you lay the fabric like this and you float it. But for your regular hoop, you have to hoop it regularly, because when you take a picture with your cell phone and that for your app, it has to be able to see the barcoding on the front of the hoop. Okay. Now, if they make magnetic hoops like this that have barcoding like that, then you can take the picture. I'm not sure if they do on the brands or not. You'll have to check with your dealer and see. But I love using magnetic hoops. I use magnetic hoop in my 6 needle also. So, and then see, like I said, when you're doing in your 6 needle, like I was doing this, you saw me was hooping my multi-needle. I had my pattern or my template placed in there that I printed from the computer, and then I had to make sure I did the center. I just cut a center, and that's how I was able to line all this up. That's how you do it. It's not hard, guys. It's just you have to think ahead. You have to think ahead, and we all make mistakes. We all forget, and this is where, when I realized when I did this, I was like, okay, this isn't working. What's wrong? That's when I realized my template wasn't right. So I went and printed a new template, and then I had flawless after that, as you saw the rest of the way, because this is several hoopings here. Okay, this is let's see, 1, 2, 3 hoopings there, right? Wonderful. All right, let's go to the single needle embroidery machine. Alright, so the machine that I'm using, like I said, has a built-in camera for scanning, and the material that I used, I had ironed on a fusible interfacing, so that's acting as my stabilizer, and that's permanent, that stays on there. It also beefs up this duck cloth to give it more support. Alright, so let me show you how I'm going to scan. So we're going to go and bring up an embroidery design, which is in my, it says USB is not loaded. Alright, let's try it again. There we go. Just wasn't, if that happens to you, that means that the USB stick wasn't in correctly. Okay, so now I'm going to search for my design. Which I have in my book tote. There we go. My book tote folder. Alright. And then I have some single designs, and I have, let's start with this one here. Alright, that's what I'm going to start with. Now, I'm going to hit set, and then I'm going to hit this camera feature. Now it says detect fabric thickness. So you see a little box there. It's got a picture of the screen there, right? So we're going to use these, what they call positioning stickers, or as they used to call them, snowman. Now you got to remember, this is the first generation machine that came out with the scanning feature, and I still use it today. This is still the original machine. I love it. So you can see where I'm going to put that little positioning sticker right there. Okay. And then I hit OK. Detection success. Remove the embroidery positioning mark. Okay, let me just see. Did that make that screen better for you? Maybe not. All right, so let me move that. And we hit OK. Now it's going to scan. Takes a little while. The model machines that came after this one, they improved the scanning to scan a whole lot faster. So, all right, let's go back to the screen. Okay, now on my screen, this is where I had that design. So I'm going to place it right up here. Okay, and then I'm going to want to duplicate it. So I'm going to hit my duplicate icon and then move another design right there. I'll put it right here. That looks good. Let me back this up. Then I'll fill these parts in with circles, right? Because I'll rescan again. I hit duplicate again, and then I'm going to move this down here, and this time I'm going to rotate it. Yeah, that's good. Pretty cool, right? Then I'm going to hit close that. Then I'm going to copy again and move the next one down here. And then I think I'll just make that one a little bit smaller. So I'm going to go to size, and I'm going to reduce the size a bit. And that's as small as it'll go. So I'm wondering, is that going to be good? Well, now I'm going to go up here and hit my big... I still can't see very well, so I'm going to hit this magnifying glass icon here. Now it's getting bigger. And that looks good. That looks good to me. Everything looks good on there. Right? You see that? Okay, and then what I'll do is I will... Let me close this. So I'm going to embroider this. Now, because this does not have a built-in color sorter like the newer model machines do, even though this was the top-of-the-line machine for its time, it does not have color sort. So what I'll do is I'll sew the gold, and then when it comes to the purple one, I'm going to advance it to the next gold, then skip the purple, go to advance, and then I'll come back and start all over again and go with the purple, 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 purple. So you do have to sit here. You will have to sit here and babysit this and doing it. Try and get this so you can see better. There you go. But you know what? This alone with a camera feature, that's worth gold. That's just worth gold, right? It's really worth gold. So I'm going to set my thread up, and I'm going to use... I'll show you what I'll use. Let me just move the camera to the top. Alright, as I talked about this many times in my videos, this was originally from my Janome Miracle Stitch foot back in the 90s, and it fit on your vertical spool pin, and you put your invisible thread on here to couch yarn. So one day I was trying to figure out how I can do smaller spools, because the best way to feed metallic thread is from the side. It should never be fed this way, and it should not be fed going up, because it kinks and it breaks. So if you feed it like vertically like this, and then it pulls, look, I'm barely pulling this, guys. This cup sitting on here acts like a ball bearing. And what it does is it's not resisting me. It's flowing off so gently, which is not going to cause any thread breakage. And because it's coming off from the side like this, it's not twisting. So no matter what brand of thread, if you have a spool this size or the low, the tall skinny ones, this is going to work perfect for you. And if you've seen all my other videos, I've got success with it. And I found that this works perfect on all my brand machines. My Baby Lock, my Brother, my Janome, my Singer. This works great on all those machines because it fits right over the bobbin winder. Isn't that great? You too can have this success. Now, where do you get this, you're going to ask me? Visit your local Janome dealer and go in there. Show them this video and say you want to buy this cap and you want to buy this spindle that fits over your bobbin winder. And they will be happy to sell it to you. And if they don't have it on stock, they'll order it for you. So get out there and visit your local dealers and see what they got. You'd be surprised at the notions of things they have available to help you. Okay? All right, let me do this sewing and I'll show you as we go along. Okay, let's talk about the needle first. You're best to use a top stitch needle for sewing with metallic threads, embroidering with metallic threads. Now, I like to use a size 14, especially on this duck canvas. So I had also this Oregon brand, which is a top stitch needle size 14. Now, we talked about this in my previous videos about how you should always buy needles that tell you what type of needle it is, and this type is top stitch, and the size up here. The Oregon brands don't put the type. They don't tell you the type. They just give you numeric and letters. So if you go to the Oregon Home Sewing Needle website, you'll be able to break down their code. I have a video I shot a while back on my YouTube channel that you're watching this on, and it does tell you, it shows you a chart of what each numeric and letter number here means. And this one here means top stitch, and it's a size 14. All right? Very important to know types and size needles for your success. All right, let's put the needle down, or the foot down, and let's get sewing. All right, so, okay, now that it's done, I want to advance to the next gold. Okay, see, right now it says I want to do lilac. Well, I'm not going to be changing colors of thread constantly, so I'm just going to go down to this, and then there's an icon here for your thread. I'm going to click the plus on the spool of thread there, and that took me right up to the next design in the Harvest Gold. You see that? It advanced me to the next design. So let me put my foot down and let's start sewing that. And it's going to move to the next position. Okay, I'm going to repeat the same thing right now, and I moved it to the next position, and foot's down, and it's going to go to the next area. Oh, it looks like my thread popped out. That happens. Normally I have a metallic thread, I will have my automatic scissor cutter shut off. I didn't do it on this one. I should go and do that. Let me just, there we go. Let me just shut my, in case you want to know how to do it, let me show you. So I'm going to go to here, and jump thread cutting, I'm going to shut that off. And end of color trim, I'm going to shut that off. Okay? then my thread won't pop out of the needle. That happens in all brands. A lot of my brands it does that, so you just have to trim the threads manually. Let's see, did I thread it? Let's go. There we go. All right, let's try that again. There it is. Okay, here we go. Alright, so it stopped with the needle in down position. I'm finding other threads here I gotta trim too. Okay, so now I'm going to lift the needle, lift the foot, and go under here, and I'm going to cut that. Okay, and then I'm going to advance to the next position. And it's going to come down further and start sewing. Isn't that great? See, no thread breaks, right? Now, you can get a thread break, and I'm not going to tell you I never get a thread break, but the success of not having thread breaks is dependent upon how you set your machine up. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear all this. Sorry about that, the camera went down on me. I'm going to clear all this, start from the beginning and rescan, and then these are going to show up that are scanned in there, they're already sewn in there. And then I'm going to, before I do that, wait a minute. See, I'm ahead of myself. Wait. I got to put the purple in. So I'm going to hit these arrows back on the spools of thread and watch all the designs pop back up. Here we go. Let me just get this camera here. Sorry about my camera today. All right, let me do this and show you. Okay, now I'm going to advance to the purple, first purple. There we go. I'm on the first lilac purple, and I'm going to sew that, and that's going to fill in all that area, then I'll be done. Okay, so rather than bore you watching that, I'm just going to do it, then I'll come back and show you. Okay, it's all done sewing my first part. Now I'm going to do the second part. Okay, I cleared the screen and I brought up my next design, and now I'm going to hit set, and then I'm going to scan the hoop again. Oh, it wants me to do the fabric detection. So here I go. Going to put that positioning sticker in the box, as you can see. And then I'm going to, let me get this out of the way here. I'm going to hit OK. Okay, it says it was successful at detecting. And now I'm going to hit OK, and it's going to scan again. Okay, it's almost done. Here it comes on the screen. Ready? Get ready. There it is. There it is. Now here's the design that I just pulled up right here. And I'm going to move that to where I want it. And I like red, so I'm going to keep the majority of this red. Okay, So I'm going to hit copy, move it here, copy again, move it down here, I think I'll make, no, that's okay. I'll move that one down here because it's a little big. I want to do another one. Let's see. Yeah, that's good. Now I'm going to do a copy again. I'll move one right back up there again. I'll move it back up here. There we go. Now let's enlarge it and see. Yeah, looks nice. Looks real good. I guess I could put one right here now. I think I had another one. So I'm going to close this, duplicate, and put one right here. This one I could probably move over here, and I'll add another one. I think that's more than enough. I think that'll fill it up pretty good. What do you guys think? I think that's pretty good, right? All right, so let me sew this out, and I won't bore you watching me sew it out. And when I'm done, I'll show you the finished result. All right, so it's done. I'll just pop this out of here. And look at that. Now when I lay my pattern pieces on here, I have my own embroidered fabric, and then I can make my next bag. I hope this tip helped you guys, give you an insight to what technology was when it came out and how far it has advanced. And today, everything's more advanced than what I just showed you, but still what I've got, it works beautiful, right? So that's what I'm telling you in my last video that I did about former top-of-the-line sewing machines that you can get for a fraction of the cost now compared to what they were when you bought them brand new. And when you go to buy a machine, just check the hours used and the stitch count, because most of the times these grandmas buy these machines and they really don't use them as much as like someone in business does. So you can get some good deals. You can really get some good deals. Just check the stitch count and the hours on the machine to know whether you're going to get a good deal or not. Okay, because if all the zeros are filled up on the stitch count, where the technicians look at, then I wouldn't buy it because it's a little bit too much. But you'll be able to check and see, and you'll know. And believe me, you can get some really good deals out there, I'm telling you. So here you go. Thanks for joining me again. I hope I inspire you. I hope I give you some inside information. I hope I am allowing you to be creative, to allow yourself to let loose and really enjoy your life and your creativity. That's what it's all about. Because what does sewing teach you? Remember what sewing teaches you. Sewing teaches you how to be self-sufficient and independent. Remember that. Because this is something you can do that you don't need anybody else to do it with. You could do it yourself and make amazing results. You really can. Love you all. Take care. To my next video. Happy sewing, everybody. Bye.